shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's another comfortable start this morning. Our dew point's down at 52, which makes it comfy. I'll show you when that starts to creep up, and we'll have a better chance for storms in our area.
Requiring real ID. Starting today, you need a real ID or another acceptable form of ID to fly domestically. We have team coverage this morning from both RDU and a DMV office to see how travelers are dealing with the change.
Finding the new Pope, Cardinals are conducting Mass right now at the Vatican. This is a live look inside St. Peter's Basilica here. And what you need to know about the process as we wait to see the results of the first vote, which will come just a little later today from Rome. Welcome to your Wednesday here as we bring you inside our WRAL studio at 4:30. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Here we are at midweek, and as my alarm was going off, I was like, whew, it's a little bit of a struggle today to wake up. So let's wake up together, right?
Here to help.
Meteorologist Alyssa Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Monday, Tuesdays aren't bad, but Wednesday, you kind of hit that point.
Yeah, I got that hump day.
That's why they call it over the hump.
Yeah.
That's right.
But at least the weather is going to be beautiful, very much like yesterday. Humidity is low, lots of sunshine, a really enjoyable day. It's cool this morning, 57 degrees. This is a live look at RDU, which, of course, we were talking about the real IDs today. Our dew point feels very comfortable, so it's a nice morning. Chilly 48 in Roxborough, but 59 in Fayetteville, 57 in Rocky Mount, and 53 in Southern Pines. Our temperatures through the day today will be in the mid-70s at lunchtime and low 80s, very similar to what we saw yesterday. Things do begin to change tomorrow. We'll see an approaching system that'll bring some showers and thunderstorms late in the day, and that'll continue into Friday, so we'll walk you through that on Futurecast coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And starting today, that real ID will be needed, or another form of acceptable identification if you want to fly domestically in the U.S. We have team coverage this morning for you at RDU International and also at a local DMV office. And we start with WRAL's Laura Levine out at the airport. Laura, how are those lines moving with these new requirements in place?
Jeff, good morning. Travelers should expect some extra delays here at RDU, especially here with the security checkpoint today. Right now, things are off to a nice and smooth start at 4:30 a.m. You can see no long lines here, but as the morning progresses, you could expect to see those delays as agents are, for the first time, checking for those real IDs. So agents will be looking for the star emblazoned real ID and other forms of acceptable identification, which includes a U.S. passport, a global entry card, a Department of Defense ID, or a permanent resident card. A TSA spokesperson tells us 81% of travelers passing through TSA checkpoints already have the identification that complies with the Real ID law. Now, there is no need to panic. However, they tell us that if you don't have the required ID, here's what you can expect. Take a listen.
If you come to the airport and you do not have a Real ID compliant ID, what's going to happen? It's going to vary from airport to airport, but basically, you'll be identified as non-compliant. You'll be pulled off to the side and possibly go through additional screening, which will slow down your security screening process.
And taking a live look here, once again, you can see that there is an agent with a sign in hand that says Real ID. So already making people aware as soon as they check in here into the security checkpoint about what's going on. So the process will vary person by person. If you don't have that Real ID, TSA says that you should bank an extra hour coming to the airport just because you don't know how long it will take to do that additional screening. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Laura, thanks. We're also keeping an eye on lines at the DMV as people scramble to get their real ID. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the DMV on Maynard Road in Cary. And Kelsey, this is not the last day to get a real ID, but if someone needs it today, they could be waiting a while.
Yes, Renee, we already see someone waiting in the parking lot right now. We're expecting to see long wait times at this DMV location on Maynard Road in Cary. We've been keeping track of lines at DMV offices for weeks as today's Real ID deadline approaches. If you've gotten a new ID in the last few years, it could already be a Real ID. If you're not sure if you have one, just look for a star in the upper right corner of your driver's license. Now, the DMV has tried to cut down on wait times. Last month, the North Carolina DMV DMV expanded their work hours at 42 locations. Now, most DMV offices are open 10 hours a day statewide, but people are still stuck waiting in these lines for hours. We will remind you that it's not too late to get a real ID. The DMV will still be issuing these beyond today's deadline. They say that there's really no rush to get one unless you're planning to head to the airport sometime soon. So we'll be sure to keep you posted on the line that'll form here later this morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cary.
And starting next school year, your child may start to notice some changes in their school experience. The Wake County School Board approved its budget proposal last night. The district is seeking more than $742 million in funding from the county. The proposed budget does come with some cuts, like removing 10 digital learning coordinator positions, reducing the number of counselors, and reducing spending on instructional supplies by $5 per student. Families packed the meeting room last night, and one parent, Gabrielle WRAL, spoke out about potential cuts to counselors.
Eliminating those positions sends a really clear message that we don't value the mental health of and well-being of our students, really, as well as our educators.
Funding on federal and state levels remains uncertain. The Wake County School Board is seeking an additional $40 million from county commissioners. Commissioners will vote on their budget in June.
The process to pick the next pope, known as conclave, begins today. 133 cardinals arrived at the Vatican today. You're looking live there right now, where they are 6 hours ahead. They are participating in a mass right now before they take an oath of secrecy and begin the voting process. During that process, the cardinals will be sealed off from the outside world. Even the Vatican staff has taken a vow of secrecy. The first vote will happen a few hours from now. The ballots will be burned, and we'll wait to see if black or white smoke comes from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. Black smoke means no decision was made, and white smoke means a new pope has been elected.
It'll be another busy day at the Legislative Building, where you are looking live right now on the right side of your screen. It is crossover week, so any bill that hasn't passed at least one chamber by tomorrow will be considered dead until the next legislative session. Lawmakers are racing to get those bills passed, and one being considered today would make ivermectin available without a doctor's prescription. Some conservative influencers recommend it for a range of health problems. The FDA has only approved it for the treatment of parasites and worms. It's never been approved for treatment of COVID or other viral diseases. The bill would protect doctors and pharmacists who dispense this against legal liability.
Today, Asian American leaders will make their voices heard at the state legislature. This is video of last year's Asian American Advocacy Day. Organizers say they want to talk with lawmakers about plans that affect immigrant and multilingual communities. AAPI lawmakers will lead a news conference at 9:30 a.m.
Search warrants reveal new information about the kidnapping of a mother and her child in Garner. You may remember getting the alert on your phone last Tuesday, a little more than a week ago. The warrant from the Wake County Sheriff's Office says the kidnappers mentioned the name of the husband's sister while they were tying him up. Eliud Martinez, who is the husband and father of the victims, says they referenced Estrella. Now, Martinez says that is his sister's nickname. He says they threatened to have someone go to his family's house as well, and 3 people are facing felony charges in this case.
The State Board of Elections is meeting this morning. It's the first meeting since a federal judge made a ruling on disputed election results for a seat on the North Carolina Supreme Court. The ruling says the board must certify Democratic incumbent Allison Riggs as the winner. She raced against Republican Jefferson Griffin. The judge ordered a 7-day pause on the ruling so he can appeal. The board will meet this morning at 10. We will be watching for any major developments in this. Be sure to tune in to our afternoon news from 4 to 7:30 for updates.
There could be a resolution in the trade war between the U.S. and China. 2 top Trump officials are set to meet with Chinese representatives on Saturday in Switzerland. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trade Representative Jamieson Greer will be in Geneva meeting with the Swiss president. While they are there, they'll hold separate economic talks with Chinese trade representatives.
Raleigh police are looking for a man accused of robbing a bank. It happened at the Wells Fargo on Forest Pines Drive around 2 p.m. Police say the man demanded money and ran off with an amount. He said he had a weapon, although it was not seen. Anyone with information is asked to contact Raleigh police.
Oh, the Carolina Hurricanes off to a hot start in their series with the Washington Capitals. It took overtime to do it. Jacob Slavin right there scored just over 3 minutes into the extra frame to give the Canes a 2-1 win in Game 1 in D.C. Game 2 in Washington will be tomorrow night. That was worth the wait long into the night for that. Puck drops tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And after the game, only WRAL has expert analysis and exclusive insights. We'll be breaking down every pivotal moment, what it means, what's next, and what you need to know. Canes exclusive post-game live only on WRAL, 11:25 after every game.
Great way to start that series. 4:40 now, jury in place. The trial for Sean Diddy Combs is taking shape. When you can expect to hear opening statements.
An unwelcome addition. A new study shows your beer may contain toxic chemicals, where they're coming from, and how to reduce your risk.
And it is going to be another beautiful morning as we take a live look at North Hills. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center tracking when the low humidity will be replaced with scattered storms.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
444, we're taking a live look at the tower right here in our backyard. We have it lit in blue this morning for clear skies. Might have a few clouds that roll in later on this afternoon, but generally today is going to be another one of those practically perfect days like we saw yesterday. It's all about that muggy meter. Our dew point is at 52. Now, that's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. It's not actually a temperature of the air itself, but it gives us the measure of moisture. And when it's low like that at 52 this time of year, it feels very comfortable. And so we get to experience that today, making it a beautiful day to spend your lunch hour outside. 75 degrees will be nice and dry today. At the bus stop this morning, temperatures are cool, mostly in the mid 50s, but it's a warm afternoon with a high of 81. Coming up, we'll talk about our chance for rain later tomorrow.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Today, the jury will be seated in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. 6 prospective jurors were selected yesterday to move forward in the next round of questioning. Combs is facing a number of federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Opening statements are scheduled to begin on Monday.
What is lurking in your lager? A new study from RTI International found toxic chemicals in beer traced back to contaminated drinking water. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin explains what it means for North Carolina brewers and beer lovers.
In a pint like this, you might expect hops, malt, and some bubbles, but maybe not toxic chemicals. But that's what researchers say they found. PFAS, or forever chemicals, in almost every beer they tested, including some made right here in North Carolina.
So I do a lot of IPA, light beer.
Definitely more local, yeah.
Whatever your beer of choice, there's a good chance it contains PFAS.
Those signatures did change by state.
RTI International tested dozens of beers from around the country. 95% had detectable levels of the toxic compounds linked to cancer and other health issues.
If the water supply has PFAS in it, it's likely to have it also in the beer.
PFAS are industrial chemicals that don't break down easily, and they're showing up in areas with a history of contamination. That includes parts of North Carolina. Beers brewed near former manufacturing sites and military bases showed some of the highest PFAS diversity. One beer from Mecklenburg County tested at more than 10 times the new federal drinking water limit.
Ideally, over time, we don't allow PFAS to get into our environment and then potentially get into our water sources and beer.
Until that happens, some beer lovers say they're concerned.
I think that's unfair to us. Like, we're consuming those products and we should be aware of what we're putting in our body.
Others say the presence of PFAS won't damper their happy hour.
Most likely I will continue drinking beer.
If you are looking to lower your exposure, researchers suggest asking breweries if they use filtered water or choosing beers with a local water supply that's less contaminated.
Liz McLaughlin reporting there. And public water systems have until 2029 to meet new EPA rules for filtering PFAS from drinking water. And researchers say cleaning up that water should lead to cleaner beer.
Two Florida men face kidnapping charges after police found them with two teenage girls from Johnson County. Authorities took 18-year-old Erickson Ulo Flores and 22-year-old Edwin Cardenas into custody on Sunday night. They're accused of kidnapping a 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl from Clayton. More charges are pending for the men as they await extradition to North Carolina.
All right, take a look at this. Severe storms caused major damage in parts of Texas. This is video that was taken in the city of College Station. That's right where Texas A&M University is located. You can see that flooding made the roads look more like rivers there. Wow.
What a mess.
Yeah.
Widespread flooding there when you get all that rain. We are finally done with the rain, and we had a nice day yesterday in Elizabeth. We get another nice day today until the rain returns.
That's right. Our next weather maker is back here across the Gulf Coast, and you can see a little cloud cover that starts to creep into sort of toward western North Carolina and a sprinkle or two. We will have some rain most likely by tomorrow night and into the day Friday. But today we're going to be mostly dry. We have sunshine in our forecast until late this afternoon when the clouds may thicken up just a little bit. So we're clear this morning here in downtown Raleigh, 57 degrees. So it's a cool start. If the kids are, wearing shorts and t-shirts, they may, just like a long sleeve shirt, hanging out at the bus stop. Our dew point 52 is very low, so it'll feel like yesterday, just very crisp, refreshing, and just a beautiful day. Our chilly spot is 48 in Roxborough, and our warm spot's 59 in Fayetteville, 57 Goldsboro and Rocky Mounts, 53 in Southern Pines. Some of the towns here closer to the Triangle, Cary at 55, Garner's at 56, Chapel Hill 51, Holly Springs at 53. So mostly low to mid 50s as you're heading out the door. I love this reported photo. Look at that big, giant, beautiful rainbow. Alan Skinner sent us that one from Nash County. That's absolutely gorgeous. We love to see your photos. Go to WRAL.com/reported and send those along to us. Our cloud cover forecast is pretty low this morning. And then as we get into the afternoon, especially notice around 4 or 5 o'clock, it goes up to 45 to 50% of the sky covered with clouds. So we'll see some increase in our cloud cover, but I wouldn't expect to see much rain in our area today. We're going to go over Futurecast in a little while. Around town, 81 in Raleigh, 79 in Durham, and 83 in Fayetteville. Very similar to yesterday. Yesterday, the Bulls had a day game, and it's an evening game. 6 o'clock, 78 degrees. Temperatures will be in the 70s all through the game. We'll see plenty of pleasant conditions for the game. We may see a few clouds, but should be really nice. Our normal high is 78. Friday and Saturday, really Sunday and Monday, all are in the 70s, so we don't have any big heat wave coming our way, but we do have some rain, especially Thursday night and into Friday. And again, we're going to walk through that with Futurecast coming up. With that, we're going to see our humidity bumping up Thursday and Friday, but it drops nicely Saturday and Sunday, looking at a beautiful holiday weekend. Mother's Day right now is dry, 78 degrees. As we talked about yesterday, there's the potential for a front to bump up to the north. I'll show you what those chances are coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Honored for bravery. In the next half hour, the celebration for a Fort Bragg soldier who acted quickly when violence broke out right outside his apartment.
And coming up, reopening soon, when you'll once again be able to enjoy the live animals in the butterfly room at the Museum of Natural Sciences in Raleigh.
.54 is the time right now, so give you this live look at Cary's downtown park. Another crisp start to our morning. It'll be a beautiful day on the way, topping out 80 degrees. Two stars are returning for a sequel more than 25 years in the making, and we're getting our first look at a long-awaited video game. David Daniel has all that in our Hollywood Minute.
Prepare yourself for more practical magic. The 1998 movie's stars, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, are returning for a sequel, due in theaters September 18th, 2026. Toothless and Hiccup soar in the new IMAX trailer for How to Train Your Dragon. The live-action take on the beloved animated franchise flies into theaters June 13th.
You and me, Lou. We got this.
We got it.
Grand Theft Auto fans appear ready for the game's next installment. The new trailer racked up more than 27 million views in its first 6 hours on YouTube. Grand Theft Auto 6 is due out for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS on May 26, 2026. In Hollywood, by way of Vice City, I'm David Daniel.
The lineup has been announced for this year's North Carolina Folk Festival. It includes Sammy Ray and the Friends, Arrested Development, and Steep Canyon Rangers. Other artists include Oh He Did, Dust Bowl Revival, and Chatham Rabbits. It is held in downtown Greensboro every year. The festival runs from Friday, September 12th to September 14th.
A popular butterfly exhibit is reopening soon at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences. The Living Conservatory is filled with live animals, including 200 butterflies. There's a sloth in there, a snake, turtles, much more. The exhibit also features all kinds of plants, orchids, mahogany trees, and figs. The Butterfly Room reopens May 24th. Real ID requirement. This is a live look right now out at RDU International Airport, where the new rule for boarding a flight is in place this morning. The effect it's expected to have on security lines and the screening process.
An unusual chase caught on camera. What led to the driver of a 26-foot-haul U-Haul truck trying to get away from police in a scene witnesses could not believe.
And Conclave Countdown, a live look right now at the Vatican, where Mass is taking place and cardinals are conducting their first vote a little later in the process to elect a new pope. What to expect as we wait for the white smoke.